Hey YouTube, Chai Guy here. Today's video, we are 3 days away from the end of the first season of NBA 2K21. I wanted to break down the One Will Rise season and how it's affected card value throughout the season's progression, and how XP is going to change and what to look forward to next season. Now that's not like a prediction on what's going to be the final reward card or the packs that are going to be dropping, but more of a prediction on how next season is going to affect the value of your cards that you currently own. Let's get into the video. So I'm going to start off by talking about the life cycle of cards throughout the season as it's progressed. Now the first thing that's really obvious is that the more cards that get released, the better the cards get over time, and the cards previously are inevitably going down in value. That just makes sense. I mean, 2K has to release better cards in order to keep us interested and keep us excited about the new cards that drop. If they're releasing packs that have cards that are worse than the ones that are currently out, no one's going to be spending money on VC. The cards that we have now are definitely declining in value. Now, it might not be immediately, and it might not just be a sudden shock drop, but it's going to be happening. So what I'm putting out there as my piece of advice, and what I'm doing right now, is I'm selling all my cards. For example, I sold my Deron Williams because I'm super close to getting my Stephon Marbury card. And I'm also hoping I'll get a Dave Bing eventually. I sold 2 Pink Diamond Moses, I nearly said Post Malone. The other thing is I sold my Moses Malone cards because he was expendable and he could easily be replaced by my Ruby Shaq. And I'm hoping soon, when I complete these challenges here, to get the Bill Russell card that's almost better than him. I've only got the last one, the playoff underdogs. The playoff records. The point I'm trying to make is the diamond cards that you don't need right now for your squad or you're not using, I wouldn't hang on to. If you're a collector, okay, I'm not going to push you to do something you don't want to do. Sell them and rebuy them in a couple of weeks, and I guarantee they'll be cheaper. I absolutely guarantee it. I am looking to buy some cards eventually soon, and that's not to say don't buy cards, because you need cards that you're going to enjoy using for the meantime. Otherwise, what's the point of playing the game? They're always going to release better cards, Chai Guy. Why would I just sell all my cards for the maximum value? Then I just will never have any cards to use. That is a valid point. It is a valid point. I'm not saying to just not have fun with the game, but I'm saying if you have expendable cards that you're not really using, or they're just sitting in your collection, or you just like the look of them, but you don't really like playing with them, that's the cards that I would get rid of. And that's only if you are trying to maximize your MT. So I want to explain my thinking in the process of a term called the sunk cost fallacy. Now, I'm not trying to sound like some kind of economics professor over here, because I'm definitely not that. But what this is, in layman's terms, in very brief, basic terms, is once you've invested time into something, you don't want to give up on it. So the way that I can think about it is if you're walking to the store, and it's 20 blocks away, 10 blocks in, you realize the store is closed. You remember it's closed. So you wouldn't keep walking the extra 10 blocks to go to the store. You just say, I'm just going to turn around and walk back. That's the same thing with this 2K card. If I'm looking up Deron Williams here, and I bought him for 63k, and now he's selling for, let's see, 63k still, that's the cheapest one it looks like. If he goes down to 50k, I'm not going to just freak out and try and not selling because I've lost 10k. I know it's going to keep going down steadily. I may as well still collect that money. So that's what you want to do when you're thinking about these diamond cards here, guys. Don't get too invested in them. If you don't need the card, cut your losses and let go. Let go. Unless you love the card and you want to keep it, I'm not going to hold anything against you. But if you want to get rid of them, don't worry about the 10k you missed out on. Just don't think about it. Just get rid of the card still for the value that you have for it. It's still worth it. As you can see right now on the screen, I've got 359,000 MT. Now, I do open packs, but my pack luck is horrendous. I don't do it from grinding because I haven't grinded as much as I probably need to. I've done it from flipping cards. I bought a Giannis for 160k, sold it for 260k. Just from knowing the auction house and knowing when cards are going up and down in value. The more abundance of cards puts down their price, more supply equals more satisfied demand, which means that cards lose their value. Other thing you need to consider is these cards like Chris Webber, Ben Wallace, let's actually check them out now on the auction house. Ben Wallace was one of these cards that had no value really before people started realizing they wanted to lock in sections. They wanted to lock in for this Julie Serving card, and they needed Ben Wallace, and no one had bought those packs because no one cared about those players. No one cared about getting this 6'7" center Ben Wallace, and no one cared about doing the XP until they started getting to the end of the season and realizing they needed that XP to get the Pink Diamond Curry, and Wallace was a good source of XP. Also, they wanted to get the Julie Serving, and Wallace was the last piece of the puzzle to fill in for him. And so he was selling for 400,000. There were like 3 on the auction house before these super packs came out. And now he's just abundant. There are so many of him, and he's gone down in price. It won't be long till he's buy it now. I think people are uploading him in the hopes that he might still return some insane value for what he is. That's what happened with Ben Wallace. That's what happened with Chris Webber a little bit. So you can try and predict that. So that's the video. 1, cards inevitably are going to go down in price. Happens every year in 2K. They have to always release better cards to keep us buying packs. Otherwise, what reason do we have to buy cards if the ones we already have are better? 2, experience next season is not going to be related to the packs that have already come out. They're going to release new packs. It's an extra incentive for 2K to get us to buy those packs. Beyond them just releasing cool players, if we know that there's going to be cards there that we have to use for experience, we're going to buy the packs even more. Don't be afraid to sell your cards for slightly less value than you bought them for, because they are only going to lose more value inevitably. So get the MT that you can get for them. Prepare yourself as best as possible, like I have with my 360,000 for next season, to give yourself the best chance to get, the level 40 reward or the cards that you want to get. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.